right, English 12, today is Wednesday, the 9th of September, 2020. So today we're going to go over the assignment that is your independent work. We're going to go over some past assignments. So if you got added to the class late or you just missed an assignment and you missed class where we went over it together, this video will help walk you through what to do on each of those. And then we'll go over the independent work that you have for today on top of the Beowulf Edpuzzle assignment. Alright, if you've used Edpuzzle before, then this will be pretty familiar. I've given you a video, and it's from Overly Sarcastic Productions. It's one of my favorite YouTube channels, and it goes through the story of Beowulf. Now, it walks you through at a pretty quick pace. It's an overview of the whole story, so spoiler alert, there will be spoilers for what happens in the story. But it's an epic poem, and the audience who heard it, chances are they knew how the story was going to end. So this isn't something that like, oh no, we've ruined the ending. It helps to know the ending. It helps to know where it's going. So this gives you a very quick overview. You're going to answer the questions, and you can see all the questions down the side and all the little stopping points. So the video will stop. It'll ask you to answer the question and submit them. When you finish, that is the main part of your independent work for today. Now, just as a note, there is swearing in this video. If that offends you, I apologize. It is pretty consistent with the language that the original poem used. It was very violent, and it had swearing of its own in Old English as well. So your main assignment today, again, is to complete the Edpuzzle. Additionally, you need to keep working on your quill comma unit. There are 4 of them this week that you need to complete, and then do your 4th article and book of knowledge in ReadWorks. So that should get you caught up if you've done everything that has been assigned so far. Now, if you have not done one of those assignments, then keep watching the video. We're going to go over each of them. So here are the assignments, the main ones. I'm not going to go over Quill and ReadWorks. There's already a video to help get you set up on both of those and to walk you through how to complete them and what a good book of knowledge entry looks like. So this is just going to go over the ones that are in Classroom that we talked about during previous classes. Starting with 001. Now the naming convention we use for assignments, the 001, those are just going to go up in order. So 01 is the first one, 002, it goes up in order like that. And then the E12 just distinguishes it by your class, English 12. So the first one, work you've already done. Now this is just, most of you were in a different class for the first week and you were assigned one of 2 different essays. We would just like to see it, just so we have a writing sample and we know what you worked on. So that's the very first one. The first real class assignment is the Beowulf Journal number 1, where we asked you to answer 4 questions about evil and monsters and villains and explain your answer. So this one's fairly straightforward. You just answer the questions using lots of specific detail and examples. For 003, this one, there's a video of Mr. Thomason reading a new translation of Beowulf, just the first 300 lines or so, and it introduces all these different characters and all these different places. So you're going to answer these questions, and they go in order in the video. So you listen to the reading, you answer the questions. If you're not sure, give it your best shot. We'd always rather see a guess and your best answer than leaving a blank, because a blank doesn't tell us anything. A blank just says, I didn't do it, rather than I didn't understand. Also, putting something like I don't know or I don't get it isn't helpful. But if you said for number 3, for example, what relation is Hrothgar to Shield? If you said, I can't figure out who or what Hrothgar is, that gives us some information that we can then go over in class. So that is assignment 3. Assignment 4, if you attended class on Friday the 4th, you completed this already, and I've marked it completed in Google Classroom. So there were 4 videos that we watched. They go in order from the Languages Anglo-Saxon video to the opening lines of Beowulf to Canterbury Tales to the Hamlet piece. These go in order from Old English to Middle English to Modern English. And yes, Shakespeare is considered Modern English. So what I asked you to do in class was to go through and listen and see what you notice about the language. Listen to the sound of it, look at the words on, some of them have words on screen, and see how English has changed over time. So if you missed that class session, you need to answer 004 in Classroom and give a few details about what you noticed. Finally, the assignment from Tuesday the 8th. This is the Beowulf Shrinklet. This takes the whole story of Beowulf and shrinks it down into a short poem. What we did is we read through it, and then we went through a few of the paraphrases. So what I asked you to do was to take the lines and to put them in your own words in the paraphrase column. So we went over a few things as well. For example, Danish in that first couplet. That is not only a breakfast pastry, so something like a croissant, but it's also the name of a people group. So the Danes, so it's making a pun on a Danish, eating a Danish, and eating Danish people, like Grendel does. And then the next part, the Malmo Ferry. Malmo is a place that is in Sweden, and that's where Beowulf is coming from. So Malmo Ferry, that's where Beowulf comes from to help the king of the Danes. And then so the Swede, that's again Beowulf. And then we talked about, if you go down, we talked about mead, which is a kind of alcohol, sort of like a stronger beer, and Hrothgar, the king. What I asked you to do was to go through and just paraphrase each one. So for example, the first one, Monster Grendel's tastes are plainish, breakfast just a couple Danish. So Grendel is a monster and he eats a couple of Danes, Danish people. That's an example of what you could write for the paraphrase. The next one, King of Danes is frantic very, wait, here comes the Malmo Ferry. So the king is very panicked about his people being eaten, but someone coming from Sweden is hopefully coming to save him. So do the same thing with each of those. If you're not sure what something means, you can always look it up. That's always a good strategy to do. And you're going to go through and just finish. Oh, we also talked about Geats or Yeats. You might hear it pronounced both ways. So that's just a people group. So he's king of the Yeats. All right. So do your best, as always, like put a guess, put an answer for something. Don't just leave it blank. Those are all the assignments. If you go through and also add up the ReadWorks and the Quill, that takes you up to current. Now, what you see on screen is a combination of the two organizing documents, organizing document for week 3 and organizing document for week 4. Those are to help keep you on track so you know what to complete and what isn't done, and keep track of your attendance as well. I really would recommend that you use those and you mark things off as you do them. So if you have questions or you still need help on an assignment, please reach out. You can email us, you can send us a message in Canvas or in Google Classroom. We are available to meet with you during office hours, especially if you've missed a class and need to go over something, or if you just have more general questions about how to use one of the pieces of technology or how to get set up. Please let us know. We are here to help you. And good luck on your independent work today. We'll see you tomorrow.